Good morning, everyone. Today is the 19th, I believe. It is the 19th Wednesday of August. This is Brad Matheny. This is your morning video. We're getting a pretty broad pullback here in the markets, just down below or right at really the defense levels. You can see right here this lower defense level. We've been trading right along this lower level, 76.85 roughly. Um, and now we're starting to move a little higher. Yesterday, I indicated that we could get on the SPY a gap lower, very similar to a pattern that we had right back over here. You can see it. I'll try to draw a box around it. This is a morning star pattern. It includes these three bars. 1, 2, 3, black bar followed by a gapping doji with the body down here, and then a rally back up out of this area. You can see we have another right here, morning star formation right there. We could be getting into a morning star formation with a gap right here leading to a fairly strong uptrend today. And that would essentially mean that we would be looking at a pretty big upward bar here. Oops. Indicating a fairly strong rally. Now, we're not getting that early morning rally yet. But again, this is a play. You can see we kind of move into this deeper downward move, set up a support level down here near this defense level, and begin to roll upward. So you can see I've traded this. We're down here below this defense level, right down here back at support. We'll see if we get any type of upward movement. We're getting a little bit of an upward movement here, up 48, barely anything. So it's not really anything of a massive rally. We are still generally bullish with the trending. We are in a bullish cycle right now. We are short-term bearish on the Donchian channel, and we're back into neutral trending over here, which indicates that we're not, we've come off a very strong move. We've come back into a pullback. I'm hoping to see some sort of upward movement today in the SPY and the QQQ. Remember, my analysis suggests that we're moving into an upward trend, continuing an upward trend up into the 900 plus area on the SPY. So pullbacks like this can be expected, but like I said, I think they're going to be fairly short-lived. So again, fairly solid breakdown yesterday. Was not quite expecting this until Wednesday, Thursday, today or tomorrow. I thought we would continue upward and then pull back Wednesday, Thursday after this breakaway, but nope, we're back down here near these lows, and we'll see if we find some support off this channel and move higher before the end of the week. So we'll see how that goes. The cycle pattern for today is a breakaway pattern in carryover mode. So we are still in bullish warning trigger. We'll see how it plays out. Then we have a carryover. Then we have in counter trend mode, and then a inside breakaway in trend mode. So again, I'm looking for a little bit of bullish action here. Actually, I'm looking for a pretty big bottom. So we'll see if it happens. If not, we'll have to play it by ear and see what happens. Markets have been generally fairly weak, but you can see the overnight markets are back into neutral flat territory here. So I think the markets are looking for direction, and it could come today in news. Wednesday is normally pretty big news. Let me come over here and here and here. Oh, nope. And so today we have news. Once it loads, we have oil inventories, oil, gas, gas inventories, 20-year bond auction, FOMC meeting, and President Trump speaks at 11. So we're going to have some pretty big news here with the FOMC minutes and President Trump speaking. Gasoline inventory probably is not going to do us anything. Mortgage market data just came out and generally flat. I mean, slightly weaker on demand, slightly weaker on the index, slightly weaker on the market index. Again, real estate's in an anemic state right now. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay, gold and silver. Gold and silver completed the D move. You can see we're starting to get a big rally here. The silver move went further below than what I expected. I bought over in this area, and it went deeper into this low and rallied back up out of it. We've now completed, I believe, the D low. So, this type of a pattern here, I'm just going to leave it here as this is a washout low, came down to this level here. Gold held up pretty well. Silver is very volatile. Now we move into the breakaway phase. Okay, now we should be moving into some sort of a breakaway phase in gold and silver, some sort of a rally attempt. And the gold and silver cycle pattern for today is a pop pattern. Try and make this full screen for you. We have a pop pattern in counter trend mode, followed by a trending blank pattern, followed by a top resistance pattern, meaning we're going to be trying to establish a top by Friday. That would indicate, in my opinion, that we're looking at a big breakaway move here. A pop pattern is normally like a crush pattern, but normally indicates a pretty big breakaway rally. Gold right now is up $1 from yesterday, $2 from yesterday's close. Silver is negative 18 cents from yesterday's close. I think we're going to see a pretty big rally in metals over the next couple of days. So be aware. Again, if you were following my lead and bought into some of these lows, we'll see if the pop pattern plays out. But we're rallying back up already into my buy area and already above my buy area over here on these lows, on this rally in gold. So be aware. If we get that pop trigger and it continues to rally, it could be a pretty good move. Okay, Bitcoin stalling out, rotating. This is not my main chart. This is my main chart for Bitcoin. Here we have the consolidation. Just like I told you, a lot of people thought this big rally phase here was going to be the breakout move. I suggest we continue to move downward and consolidate into Monday, Tuesday, the 24th, 25th, 26th of next week, and look for that breakout move around the 26th, 27th, somewhere around there. So I'm going to tell you that Bitcoin, I believe, is still going to consolidate and trend downward. Bitcoin's pattern is a crush pattern today in a trending mode. I would suggest that would be potentially a downward bar. We will see. But again, crush patterns to me generally initially always start out as kind of a downward bar. They can be upward breakaway bars. We'll see. We're right up at that resistance here. Everything is weaker, kind of waiting for a move. We've got, fairly strong volume here in Bitcoin, and it could become very volatile. So understand, it's like I drew here. I'll make this black so you can see it. We could move into a very volatile, deep low I mentioned yesterday before we break up out of this. So be prepared for big rotation in Bitcoin. All right, UNG had a big move yesterday. It's up again today. I failed to buy into the move yesterday. May try to buy into some of this today. It depends on what happens. But again, we're getting some accumulation in volume down here. And we're struggling down here near this $10 area. As I mentioned to you earlier, this is more of a seasonal play, trying to catch into a move before it starts to happen as we move into winter. Remember, as you're dealing with the heat, remember that we're only about 35, 45 days from moving into fall and winter. And if winter hits early, we could see some very strong demand in natural gas. So pay attention to these lows. Again, this could be a very strong seasonal play, and watch what happens. I was too busy focused on the S&P and gold yesterday to actually pay attention to UNG, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Okay, guys, so now we're looking at a potential rally in the SPY. We're looking at a potential rally in the NASDAQ. Very flat this morning. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I don't expect a big pullback here. We're already down into the defense levels. You can see right here, I think I have it. Yeah, we're already down into the defense levels. The upper defense level, we would likely hold at this level to continue to move higher. If we get below this level, we could see a more substantial pullback. So holding above this defense level is pretty important right now in terms of what price is going to do. Like to see it rally into a new uptrend. That would make me very happy. All right, guys, let's see how things play out. Talk to you later.